All right, welcome back to Cryptocosm, everybody. So much to talk about.
Man, we promised we were going to bring back the Bitcoin charts today. And it's looking nice. It's beautiful.
It is so spot on. Let's just go right to it. Bing!
All right, so we see the classic bull flag pattern. We have the green line at the top, the green line at the bottom, following into this downward bull flag. We're creating these lower highs and higher lows and coming in and taking this wave pattern and forming it into what you would see would hopefully be a straight line or a straighter line. So we want to see less of the highs and less of the lows and more of a consistent level action to really give us our true realized value of what Bitcoin is. And the straighter that line becomes, once we break out of that pattern upwards or downwards, as you can see where these green arrows and red arrows are, will give us a real good picture of what is going to happen for the rest of the year, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope, and I feel it too. I don't know. I could just one of those things. It's just bubbling up and brewing inside. It's like the calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen.
Now let's take a moment here and let's go look toward the end of this chart, and we see the dip, the spike, and the dip again. Now, as we've talked about many times on the show, these are precisely on the days of the eclipses, the 3 eclipses that we had this year, okay? 2 weeks apart from each other, July 13th, July 27th, and August 11th, okay? So at the bottom dip here is at July 13th, at the peak is July 27th, the lunar eclipse, and then bam, at the lunar eclipse sets the spike going down, the hill going down, and then the solar eclipse that happened on the 11th steadied us out, and we slowly are coming back up.
To the candlestick. To the day, to the candlestick.
This stuff worked great for us. We've been doing this for you. We hope that this stuff's been working for you as well, because we're making some serious moves. We are in the green. Bitcoin is over 7,000 right now. The altcoin market is coming back up. Everything is looking really fantastic. I mean, I couldn't be happier. I mean, I love when we spit this stuff out, and it's like cheating. That's what Aaron said right before the show starts. It's like cheating, dude. It's like, so we hope that you guys have been getting some good information and good use out of these dates that we're setting up for you. And of course, we've already talked about the 8th through the 10th. It's an interesting aspects, 8th through the 12th, excuse me. Interesting aspects that are coming up. It's this weird square, this grand square that's kind of hard to identify what that's going to be, how that's going to come, but I can tell you the 18th of September through the 27th of September, that is looking like the next down we go, okay? This is when the Sun and Mercury both start to square Saturn again for the 2nd time this year. This is serious. Hopefully these dates are playing out to your advantage. You're taking advantage of this information. It's not even taking advantage, I'm giving it to you. I want you to have it. I want you to use this stuff. I want you to tell your friends about it. I mean, again, the more people that are making money off of this, the more people that we can get in this, the better it is for absolutely everyone.
And it's interesting how we have, when we look at these planets, we have some of these harder aspects, some of these lighter aspects, or more favorable aspects. I mean, we're always looking at in terms of the great wave, the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs. And as Aaron has talked about these last few patterns, as you can see, they have just fit perfectly within the ebb and flow of things. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I really hope we don't break out of this bull flag just yet.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the sun is in Virgo right now. It's making that beautiful Virgo earth sign, okay? Taurus, Uranus, earth sign. Taurus, earth sign, Capricorn, earth sign. It's creating that grand trine, okay? We've talked about that in the past. Is when Venus hit into Virgo, okay, the earth sign, and it made that trine to Saturn, that's when we saw the market come up. And then eclipse season happened and dropped us right back down, right? It was like everyone got excited, like, here comes the bull run. And I'm over here like, no, it's eclipse season, man. It's gonna go down. And boom, it went down. Then it went right back up and then right back down again. Like, we're on the money with this stuff. It's like, so the sun is in Virgo, and Mercury is coming up close to being in Virgo as well. This is a very favorable aspect to this market. Exactly, Mercury is the trader of goods, and when that hits Virgo, that precise laser line focus, like this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it, let's make these moves. Mars is direct now in Aquarius, the sign of technology and community. We're making moves. We're making moves to help each other. We're making moves for ourselves, and we know exactly what we want and how to get there.
Let's hope the SEC does too.
So either way, this month is looking really good, and toward the end of September is when we start to see this like more of that tug of war, Now, our friends over there, Todd Blackburn at, Crypto Coin Trader, posted yesterday how CNBC is talking more BS, as always they do, as they try to push the crowds, right? You guys have seen this. Bitcoin's going to hit $8,000, then it's going to tank back down to $4,000. Look, if we didn't hit $4,000 during either of eclipse seasons, it's not gonna. I don't think we're gonna go back down to $4,000 when we hit this, the square to Saturn at the end of September. Are we gonna drop? Yeah. Is it going to be $4,000? I don't know, man. I think that's like these scare tactics that we talked about again on the first 2 episodes of this show about, I'm the bigger guy. I've got the clout. I've got a camera on me, and I can say this, and the public believes me, and I'm going to push you out of the game. I've got more chips. I'm going to say all in on my, ace 2 offsuit, and you've got, a royal flush, and you're like, I don't know, and it's just like you're getting pushed around. And this is more of this, is how I see it. It's just more of like bullying. And it's like, you know what? This is so much time to just believe. Just do what you got to do.
And 9 times out of 10, I feel like the pattern of the mainstream media. So Bitcoin going to 20,000, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, everybody look, Bitcoin's at 20,000.
It was awesome.
Hurry up, people, buy in, because it's going down. Everybody's selling off. Everybody knows it's selling off at that point in time.
Oh yeah, but but it was at like 18,000, 17, 18, and the media was screaming, it's gonna hit 100,000. It's gonna hit 100,000 before the end of the year. All right, now this is December. December 3rd was the Mercury retrograde. That's when everything started to climb up. And then we had started to see this money, and then they're screaming, it's gonna hit 100,000. So what happens? More people buy in. Cash out of the house, as we talked about. Holy remortgage our house, yep. Lost everything, and our $20,000 or my $100,000 that whatever you got out of your house that you spent on 5 Bitcoin is now worth just $20,000. Your $100,000 is down to $20,000. Whatever it is. This is like. Yeah, so here we have this again, and almost in an opposite thing. We're in a green pattern right now. It's a very favorable pattern. And upstairs as well, what's going on? This is a very favorable pattern. And they're saying, oh, it's going to tank back down to 4 to create that fear. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should just dump it into whatever, be safe about it. Follow your heart. Follow your own gut and instinct.
That's right. This is JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. I mean, we've talked about that. We've had whole episodes on the show. When they say zig, you zag. I mean, because they're turning their backs, so they're going around buying as much Bitcoin as they can while they're telling everybody this is a joke.
Right.
It's a fad. It's going to be over. The bubble's popping. The bubble's popped. It's done. It popped 3 times already, 4 times now. Well, yeah, we're tired of it.
It's not real. It's fugazi. It's
It's nothing.
It's as valuable as a true wisdom card. Hey, there's a lot of value in true wisdom
cards. But that's
cards.
how the market is played. People make money off of others not knowing what to do with their money.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to do.
It's like a court-appointed lawyer. It's like saying, I'm going to sign my rights away because I don't know myself or my business or what I've done in the situation. I'm going to just let somebody else handle it.
For $75.
I have to legally say I'm waiving my rights of my knowledge and just letting somebody else speak on my behalf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, then there's a handful of people out there that prefer that in this crypto trading world, but man, you can, it's like you can make this yourself. If you're watching with us, then you already are. You're a go-getter that's doing your own thing, and you already know that. So
So hopefully we don't break out of this bear flag or bull flag anytime soon. I would still like to see another week or two of some good consolidation, some evening out, seeing some real flat ground. And then whatever major movement I have a little bit put aside, that is about the time that I'm going to be waiting after we flatline to see whether we break high or break low. If we break low, I'm going to be waiting to see what the price does after the consolidation. But if we break high as soon as we flatline, I'm going all in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going all in. I'm just going to take two hands and I'm going to do this.
He's not a financial advisor, and he's not telling you to do that as well.
I am not a financial advisor. This is just what I am going to be doing personally and what I'm going to be looking for personally. And yes, we will bring those details for you as they arise. I can't wait. I'm excited. Put a little bit away just for that last dump, buy the dump, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. In other news, Bitcoin Cash now, following the trend of Ethereum, they on Monday released or unveiled plans to shard, S-H-A-R-D, ladies and gentlemen, shard Bitcoin Cash. Now, Bitcoin Cash is already, well, it's 8 times the block size. So it's already 8 times faster than Bitcoin itself. Now they're going to be taking the approach of sharding by flipping some of their coding upside down. Will actually give them the ability to split off. And I heard an analogy about sharding in this article that I really, really enjoyed. And it might be a little more reachable to some of our viewers as explained like this. It's kind of like a processor chip. So years ago, we had a processor with just one CPU in it. Then we had the dual Pentium. Ooh. So we had 2 brains working in tandem together. Then we came out with the quad. And then we have octa-core. Some of them have 12. Some of these chips now have 36 cores inside of one chip. You pay like 10 grand for these server chips. So that's really what it's splitting up. It's splitting it up into different brains to do the work faster together. So now Bitcoin Cash has unveiled their plans to be able to do that. We'll see if they'll be able to beat Ethereum to the finish line.
And I mean, there's still, the price, close to 6 right now, a little over 5 something. Ethereum is floating close to 3 right now.
It's trying.
It's interesting, where these numbers have been, where they're at now, and then talking about the Lightning Network, and then, now that Lightning Network is out, everything fails and bows down to Bitcoin. There's some of this going on online. It's like, well, but there's still so many other opportunities. Again, like we talk about often, AOL might have been the first one out of the race. They might have been handing out those discs. But who's using AOL in semester? Who I don't know. I know some people that still use a Hotmail account, but still, it's what I mean. It's
no, not me. There. I have one. Yes,
do you really?
That's my go-to. I've had it for 20 plus years now, going
I didn't
strong.
Mean to call them out.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, hey, some of us are just behind the times. So some of us, 20 years down the road, when Bitcoin is not king, are still, Bitcoin is king.
I love it. I love it. So the developments in that area, it's going to be interesting to see who's actually can get over the finish line first.
And the
will
speed,
Ethereum do it? Will Bitcoin Cash do it? Meanwhile, others like Zilliqa, Zilliqa's mainnet was actually supposed to be released this September. So just weeks away. And unfortunately, it just got pushed back to January. So this was actually the first time that Zilliqa has delayed their roadmap dates.
And that's a big delay.
But
that's not 30 days, 60 days.
That's true. But Zilliqa, I will give you guys props. You called it before it happened. So I think this news came out, 2 weeks ago or so. It wasn't, yes, we're working on it. It should be any day now. They know their limits.
Right.
They took a step back. They reevaluated the situation. They said, okay, we got to make this realistic. Let's get this out to the people before our deadline is passed.
Right.
We'll give them the new news. 1, people aren't waiting. 2, you have competent management.
They're responsible and respectable
Crap happens.
enough. Yeah.
It does. And you'll have some managers come out and just lie blatantly to your face all day long. Oh no, it's coming. We just
It's
had
in
this
the
one
mail.
hiccup, and there wasn't any of that. It was very clear cut, dry. January, we want to make sure we double our testing time. There's a lot of things that have happened with EOS, this system, that system, that we want to make sure we're not running into these same problems. Good for you.
It's very respectable.
I can trust in that still. You move the data up, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. We know, we're aware. So I would much rather see that than some of the other things, shady things that we've seen with Verge. Sorry, Verge.
There's still hope for you.
Good luck, guys. But they were very clear cut, and I applaud them. Thank you. So definitely one of the coins that I'm looking at. Hopefully they'll be doing well, but they're ahead of the game. They're going to have. They were going to be the first mainnet to market with sharding. Well, they're still on track with that because nobody else is doing it yet. So they're still ahead of the game. Still ahead of the game. And I think floating around.
Where are they at right now? They're low.
I think 3 or 4 cents, 3.5 to 4 cents, right around.
And I mean, so what other companies? What other companies are sharding? What other companies are spitting sharding? I mean, we know Ethereum.
Ethereum's working on it. I think there's probably about 6 or 7 other coins that are actually looking at having a sharding environment implemented, but none of them are close to market yet.
And
so we're probably still 3 cents.
I mean, they're cool.
That's one of the number one reasons why Zilliqa is a part of my bag, baby. So I have high hopes for them. I'm looking forward to see, but it's going to be interesting that the market changes so fast. Sharding today might not be so great sounding once we get a year from now.
Sharding didn't sound good a month or two. No, I shouldn't say a month ago. A year ago, it was a wholly different word. You know, so it might not sound that good a year from now. We're like, oh yeah, all right. Done.
We have these different generations of coins. We have our 3rd generation. I mean, ADA, Cardano, is still holding back on all of their different Ouroboros features. The number one staking coin. That's going to be the most stable staking coin out there.
A lot of people call Cardano the sleeping giant. You know, I think, you know, the head of the company is a very smart guy. He's got a lot, and he's like Zilliqa. It's like I want to get my, you know, dot the T's and lowercase i's, lowercase j's. Dot the I's and lowercase j's. I don't know, bad Wayne's World joke. Anyway, so, but you know, it's like getting all of these things straight before we just release something that's going to fall on its face. And I have a lot of respect for that. Is like so many people are. It's the race to the finish line. You know, if we get it out first. You know, if we get this review out first, then we get the most hits, we get the most numbers, and it's just like, well, but is it a thorough review? Is the information that you're giving the best it can be? So you know, when a company is taking their time, now there is a balance there, supply and demand, and what we needed and who comes out first. But yeah. Speaking
of Cardano, now the way they have their roadmap set up is unlike any other roadmap. I really like the setup. It's kind of like an agile, ad hoc approach to where they have all their tasks listed out with very, very wide ranges, maybe by quarter or so, maybe by even year. And they have all of their tasks set up, but they have a progress bar on each task. So they're not promising that this is going to be done by any certain date.
Just showing you where they're
breaking those promises. You know, their Ouroboros project is at 75%. You know, their next gen wallet is at 60%. So you can kind of just keep track of the actual updates from the actual developers that are working on them in real time.
Yeah.
So Cardano was actually created by an actual corporation. It wasn't just some IT group of people that got together to create an actual crypto and that's all they did. They were a business, a corporate business before they turned into this cryptocurrency group and what they are now.
Yeah, and they were all about solving real world problems. They were all about solving problems that they'd already seen on the blockchain, that they'd already seen with other competitors, I guess you could say. And it's just like, yeah, it's taking the time to sift through this dirt and find the gold. And sometimes that can be this tiny little piece, but that can be the most valuable thing and asset in your, you know, the whole thing. So a lot of hope. They're a great company.
They could be the ones just to come out and smash it. It's going to be interesting now. So they've already set up ATMs and things like that. I don't know how we got on this Cardano sideline, but I'm loving it. I mean, they've set up the ATMs all over Japan specifically for Cardano. And for me, on my actual country currency watch list, so to speak, Japan having the highest amount of national debt, it's going to be interesting to see if that table tips and turns and what happens to Cardano. So now, like if we look at Venezuela, we have Dash running absolutely wild and rampant through Venezuela. I mean, they have individuals that have classes set up. They pass out phones with $5 and $10 worth of Dash on them, teach people how to use cryptocurrency, teach them what it's all about. They have them then take those funds that they've given them and give them to local companies that are supporting each other. The programs that they have down there are actually phenomenal. And this is some of the things that I see happening in these countries when the currencies aren't looking so good and take a turn for the worse. This is what I can see happening in Japan and Turkey and other areas like this where it's more formalized. Yeah, I'm sure Dash probably has a team of members or whatever that's like, oh, yep, we got to call up. Japan's next. Okay, we're on it. You know, get on a plane. But that's the way we're working. I mean, billboards have Dash on it in Venezuela. I mean, it's all over the place.
It's coming.
No joke.
It's coming here.
So Cardano is one that I'm keeping a specific eye on in terms of relationships between the country's currency and what that fallback currency might be.
Yeah, Japan, China, Germany. Those three countries to me are
Getting
the...
all tingly. I'm getting excited when I talk about this.
Speaking of
ladies and
classes, I don't know if you guys seen this. It was on our Cryptocosm group page, I do believe. But there's a teacher that has, because of the rise of awareness and just simple questioning from his students. I believe these were elementary, maybe junior high, but they were young kids inquiring about crypto, and he's teaching it in the schools. I mean, we are teaching crypto in schools to young students who can't even drive yet. And they're getting crypto. And one of these kids ended up hitting it big, and he's doing some really great work with it. Check out the article. It's on our Cryptocosm group page. But I mean, this is just more of these leaps and bounds that are happening that we knew were going to happen this year, 2018. It is the year of world currency, right?
I'm loving it.
Right.
I'm loving it. And what extremes are individuals taking now to secure their crypto funds?
Blood oath, bro. Blood oath.
Put her there. DNA encryption keys, ladies and gentlemen. People have paid thousands of dollars to have their cryptocurrency seed phrases encrypted with their own DNA genetic coding. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
What? How do we even get there? I mean, what does that even mean? So
fingerprint's not going to work. We're going to get you a fingerprint. So you put your finger on the back of your phone, and then you put your retina up to it, and then you blow into it, and you can say your name, or you can say your password. No, sorry, Jim, that's not enough.
You forgot to spit on it.
Yeah, can we do a DNA test instead? Get right on that for you.
So what do you receive for this $1,000 request to get your passwords and backup phrases encoded?
Do you swab your mouth? I don't even know yet.
Yep, you get your spit taken, and then they put it in a liquid saline solution, and then they put it inside of a little tiny test tube. They get a little drop. Thereby, you would take this little vial, place it within your refrigerator, because that's what I want to do with my refrigerator. And any time you can take that to a lab to go get your encoding key if you should need it again. So on a normal encryption, basically everything has a key. And that key is basically the code that is used with a piece of software. So it's like you have a door, which is the software, and then you have a key. Well, yes, you need the key to get through the door, so you need two things. So the door is the software that encrypts it, but to get through the door, you need the key also. So now your DNA is actually turned into a binary code, 0110011111000.
Yeah, that's my code.
Shh, don't tell anybody. And then it's transferred and encrypted into a software key.
But doesn't that mean that the doctor that swabbed you, isn't he gonna have your DNA too? Or anyone that does a blood draw? Or I can just cut you and, I don't know. I mean.
Well, then you would need the key, first of all.
Yeah.
So it's, okay, yes, you could get the DNA.
I'm gonna get my Mission Impossible. I'm gonna put your face mask on my head with the little voice box thing. I'm gonna cut you.
But you go to the door without a
I'm gonna
key.
cut you.
Just because you have my DNA doesn't mean you have
your
the
face.
keys. The key is used in conjunction with the DNA to make essentially the key.
This is intense, man.
So I want to, not only do we need passwords to protect ourselves, but we need to take our passwords and encrypt those. Then we need to take that key and encrypt it again. I mean, it just,
now you got to protect your DNA.
At what point, and we just send it off to the dark side of the moon to store it away should we ever need it again. But there's a market for it, apparently.
Up there with Timothy Leary.
It is a market for it, apparently. So what length will you go to secure your crypto funds? I don't know. A hardware wallet looks just fine for me, ladies and gentlemen. Just fine for me. I don't really feel the need to take any blood, spit, or anything like that, any bodily juices to create any sort of cryptocurrency encryption key, therefore, going on.
Teach their own. Teach their own.
Hey, whatever works for you. But it's there. It's there.
If you need it.
If you need it, it's there.
Just don't study epigenetics and then change your DNA, because then you could be in a whole world of problems in the future.
Man, we could talk about that till breakfast time.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Do it up, buddy. This is our last one. The end of 52 cards.
Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. I like the sound of that.
God, they're so good. Now we gotta find new cards.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for sharing, subscribing, and hitting that little bell button down at the bottom so you guys don't miss a beat. Here on
Cryptocosm.